Welcome viewers to another very exciting episode of Women Now. What do we have today?
Well, we're here in the morning, so that's exciting. I'm really excited about that. But you know, there's been a current this whole year, politics, and more politics.
It's an important year for us. Who are you rooting for, by the way?
Is that okay if I share it with people? You don't mind?
Absolutely. You're open people.
Well, I totally support President Obama, I think.
And why?
Because I think he's actually an honest guy trying to make a difference.
That's what it is all about, right? At the end of the day, it doesn't matter what party you belong to.
That's right.
If you're a true, genuine human being out there to help people, that's what matters.
Yep.
On that note, we have our Kalra, our local council member.
From San Jose.
San Jose. And
Yep.
I would vote for him.
He's a difference
irrespective
maker.
of whichever party he belongs to, because I like him as a human being.
That's right.
He's very cool and he's always helping people, and I would support him hands down for anything that he does.
Yes.
And I think it's important for all of us to get more involved in the political process.
Yep.
We can't be out there on the sidelines just waiting and watching for things to happen or change without being a part of it.
That's right.
You listen and you do. Take some action.
Well, I think you see that you're seeing a big difference now. People are actually getting into politics, and people are getting involved in politics because they don't like the way things are happening.
Right. And it's not easy because you know it's not a career that most South Asians would want to put their kids into.
That's right.
It's not a career that is mainstream.
That's right.
But it's hard, very self-satisfying, and when you do make a change in people's lives, I think that's when your actual worth is revealed.
Right, and then of course, that's right, your character is revealed. And I guess Ash is hosting, or he was at an event
for us. It's a Democratic dinner where he got a chance to talk to some of the people there to find out where the wave is going this year.
I know where the wave's going.
Where?
Obama.
Hi, this is Kalra, San Jose City Council member, and tonight I'm a guest correspondent for WomenNow TV at the annual Democratic Party dinner here in downtown San Jose at the Fairmont Hotel. 2012 is a very exciting year. Of course, President Obama is up for re-election, and I'm very honored to have the opportunity to be a delegate and to go to the convention in North Carolina. And really, tonight's dinner is going to have that kind of energy, the presidential election year energy. We're all here to support President Obama as well as a number of the great candidates we have on the Democratic ticket. So tonight, I'm going to have an opportunity to speak to some great Democrats that are here about a number of different issues, and so let's enjoy. So I'm very excited to be here with my Congresswoman, Zoe Lofgren, who's a great Democrat, certainly a great friend to the Indian American community. And so please say a greeting to our Indian American friends around the country.
Well, it's a great year to be a Democrat, and a great year to be a friend of the Indo-American community. There are many challenges that we're facing, and the Indo-American community, with their strength, is helping us to meet that challenge here in America.
And Congresswoman, I'm right now a correspondent for WomenNow TV. I understand you have a Violence Against Women Act that's right now going through the legislative process. Can you speak a little bit about that?
Sure. Unfortunately, the Republicans in the House have introduced a bill that steps back from protecting women against violence, especially immigrant women. We wondered when their war against immigrants would morph into their war against women, and it's happened. It's unfortunate because for nearly 20 years we've had bipartisan consensus to be against violence in the home, and especially to take steps to protect the most vulnerable, which are immigrant women. But the bill they've done is an outrage, really. Senate Democrats and Republicans and House Democrats agree we should improve this bill and keep focused that women should never be allowed to be victims of violence. Unfortunately, House Republicans have lost sight of that in their fervor to be anti-immigrant.
Well, thank you for standing up for us. We know there's been an extreme shift, unfortunately, in the Congress that seems to get us off focus. But thank you for really standing up for all of us as Americans, certainly the immigrant community. We thank you, and thank you for taking a moment with us today.
It's a pleasure to see you again, Ash.
Thanks. Well, I'm happy to be here right now with Councilmember candidate Steve Klein, running for a district here in San Jose. And, I'm going to be one of the delegates to North Carolina for the president. I'm very honored to do that. And of course, we know last week that in North Carolina they had that bill that was very vicious towards the LGBT community, and then followed by a great pronouncement from the President of the United States in favor of marriage equality. As someone that's gay, that has a partner that lives in the community, that really is trying to bring equality to the entire community, what does it really mean for the President to make that kind of statement?
It was the most outstanding statement I've heard. The courage that he showed to say that and to be so forthright and honest, and how he had reached that decision in a very thoughtful way, talking to his family, just validates my existence, my husband's existence. It's just a wonderful thing, and I am just so much excited that President Obama will be leading the charge for the 2012 election. It's going to be great.
Well, Steve, good luck in your race, and certainly the President's pronouncement was a great day for all of us as Americans and all of us that believe in equal rights for everyone. So I'm here with Robert Sapien, who is the president of our local San Jose Firefighters Association, representing hundreds of wonderful public servants here in San Jose. So welcome to WomenNow TV.
Well, thank you very much. I'm glad to be here.
And you know, one of the things that we try to instill in our children is the opportunity to serve the community. And all too often we push our kids to go into the sciences, be doctors, engineers, go into business. You know, why is it important for us to also have our children, as they go through school, go to college, consider a career in public safety, consider a career as a firefighter?
It's extremely important, and the services that we provide are very much enriched by having a diverse workforce that can serve our very diverse community. I've been in our fire department long enough to have seen a department that was not very diverse, that was predominantly white male, just how it was. And over the years we've recruited many more women, many more minorities, and the services that we provide have just been enriched to levels that I can't even describe.
Hey Manish.
Yes.
Did you ever write a book?
Did I ever write a book? Absolutely not.
Did you think of writing a book?
I think we've all thought about like stories in our mind that, oh, if I could write something like this, but none of us are really talented enough to do that.
Because we were not disciplined, I guess.
That's right, and just not talented enough to do it.
And today we have with us our youngest guest so far on the set, Sabina. Sabina, tell us all about yourself. You wrote this book, and I'm going to hold this up. It's called Forbidden Earth.
Yes.
Right? Tell us all about this book, how you got started, what inspired you, so many questions.
Yes, lots of questions today.
So this story is basically a futuristic sci-fi, and it takes place in a time when there are no more humans left on Earth.
Oh no.
And the Earth is ruled by a sort of biological computer, and Macy, the main character, and her spaceship is the first spaceship to land on Earth in centuries. But they land on an area called Forbidden Earth, which they think is an area where no BC would ever set foot. But they were wrong, and that's where the story starts to unfold.
So the humans have been chased away in the future?
It takes place in the past of this novel, but in our future.
Okay, in our future.
Let's rewind a little bit and let's find out, from when did you think of writing this book? What was your childhood like? At what point you realized that you want to write and publish a book?
So me, my dad, and my friend were sitting around discussing things that would make an interesting movie plot, and I wasn't capable of writing a movie, but I found this plot so intriguing that I decided to do the next best thing, which was publish the novel.
So how did the plot come about?
My dad is into scientific things, and I like reading fiction, just as any girl my age would. And so we decided to combine the two as we were talking together. And so the plot was formed as a sci-fi.
This is something you've been doing since you were really, really young, because you're already really young right now, but I mean, when did you first start writing? How old were you when you actually picked up the pen?
I started writing this the summer before I entered 6th grade, so it took 1.5 years to write.
1.5 years, wow.
Now walk us through this process. We have many young viewers and who would want to know, because they have ideas, they have plots in their mind, but walk us through the process of that idea came to you, who supported you, and how much time did you spend every day or every week to get this whole project completed?
It was a major project, and I had to spend a lot of time after school. It was almost like an after-school kind of activity. Over summer, I would do it for hours for a day. I would just try to get through it as fast as possible, but still do a decent job on it so that it doesn't turn out rushed. But I'm still like young, and like my writing style is still developing, so I think my writing style changed a lot. I think that's why you should try to do it as fast as possible before.
So you're saying once you start writing, your writing style changes, and that develops, novels.
So you felt like you're evolving as the book even was going on? Do you feel like that when you look back? So that's a good question for you then. When you write a chapter, do you move on to the next chapter and do you look back, or do you just kind of close that and move forward? How do you sort of do that?
While writing, I try to keep a continuous flow, but if I'm done writing for the day, then I'll maybe go back and revise. Okay. And if I wait a couple months and I go back to what I wrote like in the beginning of the process, I noticed that my writing style has changed a lot, and I try to do some editing. So
when do you then draw the line and say, okay, I don't want to go back and make any more changes, like this is it? When is it?
If I've changed a sentence 2 or 3 times, I think that if I change it more, it'll just lose its creative flow. So I try not to change it too many times.
Now tell me about yourself. I'm very curious. You're 12 years old. Tell me about what you think is your strength and how you use that in your book.
I think when I started off, there was nothing special going on. I just.
You were just an ordinary girl.
Yeah.
I like that.
With an extraordinary plot.
And a talent.
But yeah, my writing skill, it wasn't anything special or different. But I think the more you write, the more you realize what goes well with what kind of sentences you should use, texturing, and then you just get better as you write more and more.
Now this particular book, Forbidden Earth, is it available already online, or is it in the bookstores, Barnes & Noble? Where is this book?
It's on Amazon, and we have a Facebook page for it too.
Okay, and then any hopes to get it into some of the, whatever's left of the retail, booksellers and things like that? Are you working on that as well?
Yeah, we're trying to get it put in some libraries or bookstores, and so we'll be working on that.
Okay.
Now, who was your mentor? Looks like your father guided you through the process a lot, because he was a part of that imagination when you sat with your friend and your dad. Who else was your mentor for this? And does one really need a mentor?
I think that if you're disciplined enough, then you'll be fine. But there's periods of times when you just feel like it's too much. But the parents' motivation is like enough to finish whatever you started.
So viewers, we are going to get adventurous today. We are out here in California. We need to get out of our houses and, get adventurous with sports and activities. What's best in Bay Area? We can find so much fun activities right in the neck of our woods. And we have with us Eric. Eric, you're going to teach us how to fly today.
Yes, I'm a certified hang gliding instructor with the USHPA.
Now, I'm a little bit scared, and I have 2 other colleagues of mine over here. They're going to try to do the same thing. Now tell me what involves flying.
Well, first we set up the glider, and then we get you used to just picking it up and running with it. So you learn how to launch it on the flat ground. So you work your way up gradually to where your feet are just starting to leave the ground, and if you can stay calm and comfortable, we can move you up higher and higher.
Now, what age group is right to fly?
Any age group, as long as you're within the weight limit of 90 to 100 pounds at least, and that your parents agree to it.
Well, you don't fly off really. Now, I see a flat ground over here, and I see the mountains over there. Explain to me, how do you really get up there and then fly?
Well, you have to learn to not hold on to the glider in the very beginning, because people want to hold on with their hands, but the glider supports you through the harness. So as you get used to getting supported by the harness, it's really as easy as riding a bike.
So you need the balance?
Yeah, you learn to steer as you go on. It balances itself because you're hanging from the glider. It wants to hang you from the bottom of the pendulum.
Okay. Now, this over here is called what? This whole thing that you're setting up?
A hang glider.
Okay, and how do you set it up?
Well, first we spread the wings, and then we put the battens or ribs into it, and that holds the shape of the airfoil, so it creates lift, so it'll lift you off the ground.
So, Eric, explain to me how this whole thing gets assembled.
Well, we've already taken out the bag and put the control frame together. So then we have to slide the battens in, and then after that you pre-flight it. You just make sure that it was put together right and look for any signs of wear to make sure it's airworthy.
Now, How long does it take to assemble this?
About 10 or 15 minutes.
Now explain the whole process. After you've assembled this, what happens next?
Just like this guy over here, you just learn how to hold the glider, balance it on your shoulders, and as you start moving, it lifts off your shoulders, and that's where you learn to just run in the direction you want to go.
Okay, and then what happens?
We just gradually, as you can keep doing that, we gradually move you up the hill to where you get your feet off the ground a little bit, and if you're comfortable with your feet off the ground, a few feet off the ground, I'll be running next to you to help you, and as you are able to do it yourself, then I let you get up higher out of my reach.
Now, who is the right candidate for this? Who is the best person to enjoy this the most?
Pretty much everyone's dreamed of flying. If you've had dreams where you've flown, this is like dreaming awake.
Now, you're teaching so many people. What do you think is the biggest fear for first-time flyers? Now, tell me about it.
I think a lot of people just don't know what to expect. They haven't seen it in person, and they have ideas about it that might not be true, may or may not be true. Even people who've seen it in person don't really know how it works.
What's the highest point? I mean, what is the moment that someone flying just forgets about everything and just starts enjoying it?
It's hard to say for everybody. For me, one of my groundbreaking moments was on my 4th lesson when my brain turned on. It was so overwhelming in the beginning, I couldn't think, and I was in a lesson, and all of a sudden it was normal, and then it was really easy.
What got you into this?
A friend of mine was getting married, and during his bachelor party we did a hang gliding lesson, and as soon as my feet left the ground I knew it was for me, and I wanted to be able to go higher. I saw the people on the higher hills, and that was what drew me. And then after I got up high and had a 2-hour-long flight and flew with some hawks, that really had me hooked.
Awesome. Now, what makes this place, technically speaking, a good place to fly? I mean, do we have the combination of wind and sun and fog, no fog? What makes this place particularly one of the best?
Well, there's a lot of different training hills, a lot of different sizes of hills, and the wind is pretty consistent.
So now we have with us Janaki and Ranjini. Are you guys excited?
Oh my God, I'm excited and nervous. I have like my heart is pounding, but I still want to experience the thrill of flying.
You're going to be like a bumblebee today. Now, what about you? You are very sporty, I know that. Do you have a tint of fear in your heart?
Absolutely not. I cannot just wait to start it. Can we start now?
Okay, I'm going to take a flight off the top of the training hill. I usually do one during the class to test fly the glider and also to check how the winds are doing, and also to give an example to the students of what I want them to do.
It's an amazing feeling. You feel that like you're a bird, you're just trying to take off, and you feel weightless, and it's an amazing feeling, and everybody should experience that.
Well, we hope you enjoyed this show on adventures and politics.
They go hand in hand, by the way.
I think they do. And of course, unfortunately, there's a few politicians I'd like to send on a hang gliding trip. But that's my personal opinion.
And as always, we're going to end the show with a famous quote from Jawaharlal Nehru. We live in a wonderful world that is full of beauty, charm, and adventure. There's no end to the adventure we can have if only we seek them with our eyes open. Let's meet again next week. Till then, let's make our life more splendid, more extraordinary, and use every moment to conquer our dreams.